Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Shovel Knight. Last time, we went through the Pridemore Keep and defeated King Knight. As soon as we did that, this guy appeared on the map, and today we're going to start with actually a little mini thing. These are very reminiscent of Zelda 2, both in the current enemies and in the way it's executed, where Zelda 2 little things would appear on the map that you had to go to and beat. We didn't have to, but you got experience from it. And this, you get gold from it, which is essentially your experience, because that's how you get relics and all that. So, yeah, essentially same concept. Very Zelda 2-ish, and the general world map is very Mario 3, Zelda 2-esque. I'd say more Mario 3 than Zelda 2, but these are definitely more reminiscent of something from Zelda 2. I don't play Zelda 2 all that much, I don't love it, but it's a fun enough game. I'm glad they gave it a little notch to it, but that's that. Just a very little mini level, a very little mini level. Redundancy! Yeah, but anyway, let's head back to the village here, because with some more gold, we can now buy another meal ticket. I generally give priority to health over magic, to be honest, but early on in the game, they're so kind of cheap that you don't really have to prefer one over the other. Actually, you know what, generally later in the game, I actually give more priority to magic than health. This early on, I give more priority to health. But later on, you have so many relics that it is helpful to have more magic. But let's head back over here to Chester, because he had one more relic for us that we didn't buy before. He had the Chaos Sphere. We're going to use this. We can see it just bounces around to and fro. Let's do some more Crocus puns. I'm sure Quest will pay off in spades, hero. The Gotician. He may feast on valuable tickets, but oh, he's not a bad fellow. Super Skeletons are way too serious. They can't take a little humorous ribbing. The bard performs on the street because when he's inside, he can't conduct himself. Have I told you about the broken sword? Never mind, it's pointless. I hate you so much. But since we defeated King Knight, let's speak to the king. King Knight reigns no more, huzzah! Now I can rule pride more, hurrah! I can't wait to greet old Plume and Beaky. They'll probably can't wait to see me. I'm assuming they're servants or pets or something, I'm not too sure, actually. But let's head out of the village here. What do you have to say? You look cool. Make sure you press up to talk to people like you do this now. But thanks. I bounced off your hoop earlier. Wow, Mr. Knight. Nice stick. Come on, let's play it. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump on you. These buckets are heavy. You look a lot like Dunban. Pick up blue jars to restore your magic power. I will. You are running really weirdly. I'm the fastest! No one can outrun me. I think I can, you know what, I'm gonna try. Our whole village is overrun with the undead and Specter Knight. We barely made it out in time. Oh, so I actually didn't know that. Apparently, this level we're heading to right now, the Lich Yard, was an old village that was just taken over by Specter Knight in the Order of No Quarter. Starting off the Lich Yard, can I say immediately that I hate that name? I don't know how to pronounce it properly. Is it the Lich Yard, the Lich Yard? Like, is it the K, or the H actually a K? I don't know. I don't like the names of the stage. It's really, it bothers me a lot for really weird reasons that are probably completely inconsequential to everyone else. In fact, I don't even know why I care. But anyway, obviously the most important thing is, one, the setting. That I didn't even notice that this did look like a village that was taken over by the undead and Specter Knight and all that until I found that out this episode. So that's actually really interesting to me that I never knew that. And two, the music. Definitely the music, most important thing. Even above the setting, all that. It's so good. This is my favorite. This is probably my second favorite level theme in the game. We'll get to my favorite later on, of course, but God, it's so incredible. And I didn't really realize until after my first few playthroughs how much I loved this music track. It's exciting. It fits a haunted area really well, and it just sounds so good, honestly. And speaking of, this is one of the tracks composed by the Mega Man composer. So they composed this and as well as one other. And it's really weird because this is one of my favorite tracks in the entire game. Composed by that composer. The other track they composed is one of my least favorite tracks in the game. Well, level tracks at least, but I guess in general tracks. Because it's like mostly level tracks for this game and map themes, so. Yeah, it's really weird. It's just like balancing, like, oh, I made a track this guy really liked, better make one he doesn't really care for all that much. And I don't really understand it. But I suppose while on the topic of music, well, actually, you know what, new gameplay mechanic here, that's more important. The lightning areas, let's call them, are areas where lightning will flash because the area is darkened and you can't see. Honestly, not too huge of a fan of these areas. They're okay, it just depends on how they're done. They're done really, really well later in the game, but this stage, can't really say I'm a fan of it because it's like the gimmick is, now you can't see, and I can't really say I'm a fan of that, to be honest. I mean, it's not horrible, it doesn't ruin the stage for me, it's still a really, really fun stage to blast through. Just collect all the gold and have a really, really fun time with, listen to music, but that one little thing kind of bothers me about it, that this one, like, area, or these few areas just are really, really annoying to me. Don't get me wrong, stage is still really fun, but yeah, it would have been better if that was either handled better or just not there in the first place. Not a fan of that. It's kind of like trying to take that thing that Donkey Kong Country Returns kind of set in, and Limbo kind of even more, where things are just kind of black and artsy, but usually then you can kind of still see what's going on, you know. Sonic Lost World does it, Shantae, I think Vixie's Revenge does it? I haven't played many of the Shantae games, so I've seen them. But I think Shantae vs. Revenge did it once or twice or something. Some of the Shantae games did it. Shantae has generally really good graphics. But yeah, it's not artsy when you cannot see the character. But I suppose speaking of the character, Shovel Knight controls really, really well. It's fluid, he has great momentum, physics, and everything just feels great. Fighting with the shovel feels okay, if a bit stiff, admittedly. I feel like the initial swing is a bit odd to get used to. Once you get used to it, it's perfectly fine, but it can feel a bit stiff when you start. That's how I felt, at least, that I thought the combat would be a bit more fluid. Not that the combat is like the most important part of Shovel Knight, God, no. It's really only important. Well, actually, that's a pretty big thing. I don't know. Really, platforming is where this game shines, which, of course, it's a platformer, so, you know, you kind of expect it to shine in that area, wouldn't you? At least you would hope it does. But anyway, heading to this room, we get this blue chest that will always contain good old Chester, who will sell you the Phase Locket, which will let you escape all harm briefly. How briefly? Well, this briefly. And while you are using it, you are completely invincible to any hazards. You can still die by bottomless pits, but things like spikes, which are instant kill in this game, or all enemies or anything, you won't be hurt by it, except by, obviously, instant kill pits, which are all of them. So I don't know why I said instant kill pits, but you get the point. Anything that would normally just simply damage you, or that is visible, I suppose it can hurt you, won't hurt you. Which is weird, because it kind of makes the Ichor of Boldness completely obsolete, in my opinion, where the Ichor of Boldness makes you invincible for 10 seconds. Sounds great. Phase Lock, it makes you invincible for about, let's say, 2 seconds. I mean, yeah, it's less time, but you can recharge your magic to use the Phase Locket more often. You can't recharge your Ichor except by going back to the Tropical Pond or by getting lucky with fishing spots, which we'll get into later, because I don't actually believe there are any fishing spots in this level. But yeah, you can basically dig up tropical fish who will give you a random. Well, actually, I'm not even sure if it's random. They'll give you an Ichor, and I'm not too positive if it's set to that like tropical fish area, but also I'm completely screwed easy to jump over this pit. Okay, I got out somehow. That fight usually doesn't go very well for me. I usually get hit a lot because I get trapped and just get reckless or just want to get it over with faster, so I don't care about taking damage. That's our way to play this game, does not care about taking damage. I believe they actually did give this game to several speedrunners during development and said, hey, is this game good for going fast? And a lot of them said, yeah. So, I don't know. If you memorize the stages well enough, then these darkened areas aren't going to be a problem, but I don't know, even though I've memorized them well enough, I think it's just like, it's still annoying, because what if I screw up just a little bit that I might have corrected if I could see what I was doing, but now that I can't see, can't correct it, because I don't see that I'm making a mistake. I don't know, it's just not too big of a fan of this in any given game, but we are now at the end of the stage. This is the last checkpoint, and I'm not going to break it, because I'm not doing that this playthrough, but this is no place for the living mortal. You shall be summoned when it is your time, and everyone has a time, as we saw with your beloved Shield Knight. Lies. I won't believe such talk from phantoms. Your very existence is a vile deception. The Tetris is just full of surprises. She granted me new life, so that I may take yours. This is one of the harder bosses in the game. A lot of people I've seen play this game have a lot of trouble with this boss, and that includes me on my first playthrough. Specter Knight is kind of difficult. He has a difficult pattern. He doesn't really have a pattern to memorize. He just has areas he'll show up in that you kind of have to deal with. That attack, you don't want to actually jump backwards because he will chase you. You want to jump forward over him and poke off him a couple times. So you can hop over here. But his music is fantastic. And speaking of boss fight music music are always remixes of the stage theme. I'm also going to use my red Igor to recharge my magic so I can keep getting the flare wand here. And maybe he'll pop up over here, maybe not. I don't really know what he's explicitly doing at all, but that should finish him off. Now we're into the catcher sequence, but in this time, people are actually going to attack you and drop a lot of gold. This is a fantastic way to get money, because they will drop more gold than they usually would, especially these gold armors will drop, I believe, actually purple gems. Unfortunately, they can be kind of difficult to kill when there's a million other enemies around, and honestly, I'm probably not going to kill any of them before I have to catch her. Oh god, I'm not going to catch her. No, 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 no. You don't lose anything for not catching her, but it still really sucks when you can't. But sometimes when you wake up, every 3 stages or so, you will get a meal ticket to increase your health. But before we head back to the village to actually use that meal ticket, let's say we actually finish off this first area of the game. There's 3 areas, so let's just cover them all. This is the Forest of Phasing, a little extra level. Yikes, spikes! If only I can get face to safety. Crossing gets so much treasure. Well, we have the phase locket, which we can use to cross instant kill spikes. You need the phase locket to do this level. There is no way around. Well, maybe if you came back here with a later relic and wanted to screw with things, you might be able to get through here without using the phase locket. But honestly, there's absolutely no point to doing that. You might as well just use the phase locket. It's quicker, easier. But I guess if you want to do a challenge of sorts, don't be reckless. You have the phase locket. Don't try to trick things and do things faster than you have to. You'll get plenty of magic to resupply it. You're never going to run out of it in this level. Like here we have a huge thing though. So I believe 20 magic. A huge jar. So yeah. You're just going to want to kind of spam the phase locket anytime you can. Like in this room it gets all these birdies. So you just kind of want to not deal with them. You might be thinking, oh, I have the phase locket, invincible, I'm gonna deal with them. No, just don't. Just run. It's not worth it. They don't drop all that much gold anyway. But at the end of each of these extra levels, you'll have a chest that gives you a music sheet. So that was the Forest of Phasing. But as well, another mini stage appeared up here at the Pridemore Keep. This level is all about collecting gold in a little side-scrolling level. You might actually want to save this one for later when you have an upgrade that makes digging up trenches faster, because that will make things a lot easier for you and getting all the gold that you want. But I'm just going to go ahead and do it now to finish off this first area. Generally, I do kind of hold off on this, to be honest, but it's not that big of a deal. You don't need that much gold, honestly. And actually, it might just be better to just get it over with, because you have more gold to get that upgrade, actually. And you can't ever... These levels don't ever reappear, unfortunately. I kind of wish they did. No, I guess that's just being greedy at that point, where I want even more chances to get an excessive amount of gold. Don't worry about these last 2 things. Actually, just try to get everything you can, because you'll have as much time to get these last 2 bits as you want, because they will both have little things as camera stops here. You can just get them if you need to. But the last one has a gold gem in it. A pink gem? A gold gem? I don't know. But that's that for the mini levels. And that's that for the, everything else that we could have in the first area. Words are hard, excuse me. So before we end this episode, let's get a few things done. Also, you can stop whistling at me anytime. We got a meal ticket from that level, so let's go ahead and use that. If you have 2 meal tickets, by the way, he will cook up 2 meals for you, and you'll just get, 2 pieces of health. What is he gonna give us this time? He's giving me fucking rocks, I think. Thanks for the rock dish. I love it. Yeah, let's get some more magic here. I try to upgrade my magic once after every stage. Especially if I don't get a meal ticket. Something in here I really want. Let's listen to some Crocus puns. Plague Knight tried to tell me a joke, but it was too formulaic. He failed to get any reaction. He's a scientist. I talked with Mona the other day. Bad attitude. Baking beakers everywhere. Such a vile woman. Have you talked to the juice maid? I tried to squeeze her for information, but I'm not sure she had anything pulpy to extract. My efforts were totally fruitless. I applied to be a trouble acolyte, but they said my application looked fishy, so they hired me. Using a shovel as a weapon. What a groundbreaking idea. Error signs are all the rage in the village these days, but I think they're on the way out. And last one. I forgot what Rise was using as a weapon, but then it came back to me. It doesn't really make much sense right now, but maybe we'll get the joke later on. You defeated Specter Knight. Now behold my greatest treasure. Dance! And for watching your dance, we get a music sheet. But that's going to end this episode of Let's Play Shovel Knight. We finished off the first area, beat Specter Knight, King Knight, I guess technically Black Knight, but he wasn't really part of the Order of No Quarter and isn't really the same league. But yeah, that's that. So next time on Let's Play Shovel Knight, we move on to the second set of Knights of the Order of No Quarter, and maybe head to a new village to get some more equipment. But I will see you guys next time on Let's Play Shovel Knight.